Today on episode 217 of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, the TCF Sports Minute, our Super Bowl preview, college basketball rundown, and the TCF top 3 of Super Bowl props. Let's roll. Hello and I got to start over.
Oh my God.
Hello and welcome back to Typical Chicago Fans, brought to you by our incredible sponsor, Connect Roasters Coffee. Today is episode 217. Make sure to find us on X at typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram as well. Give those pages a like. For all of our content in video form, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Typical Chicago Fans page there as well. Wherever you get your podcasts, you can find us there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, whatever you use, we are there. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review wherever you can. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF. And, of course, the gentleman that I am joined with tonight, that is Zach at Z. Lilia TCF and Maddie at schools_01. Boys, I don't want to jump the gun here, but feels like spring today.
Yeah, it's beautiful out. I think it's like 40, 50 degrees. You cannot beat that.
I'm in the part of the year where I'm debating wearing gym shorts outside, so I know we're in a good spot.
Yeah, it is funny when it gets really cold in the winter and then it gets to a decent temperature and we pretend like it's springtime already.
Exactly. How you holding up out there,
what's the animal that
groundhog?
What did he see? A shadow?
He did not.
It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it. I could not remember the whole thing.
He did not see a shadow. He predicted an early spring, so I got a bad feeling we're going to get hit with our the back end of winter here. But if old Puxatawny Phil has anything to say, we're heading into spring.
I'm just worried about that we're getting April and February, that we're going to get February and April. That's my concern.
Yeah. I got a bad feeling about the end of this month.
Get the flowers out in late spring. Get the flowers out, mid-April, late April, and all of a sudden, boom, snow.
Yep. I got a feeling
open.
Yeah.
And a while for that,
going down a little later, so
yeah,
it's almost getting that season.
You know what? The weather can be what it is. I'll take it with it being lighter just a little bit longer every day.
Yep. Well, we're almost there. We are nearing the end. So let's, as always, jump into things with sinkers and floaters. A little update on my sinker. I have now caught 4 mice in my garage from the last time we spoke. I would believe my number was...
Garage is fine. That's where the mice are supposed to be.
Yeah. So far, the one right up there hasn't gone off here in a while, which would be very funny if it goes off in like 2 minutes. But we have a little bit of a hole like in the... kind of like where the garage door, the opening there, there's just this little one, and you can see the daylight when the lights are off. So we've caught like 2, maybe 3 more in the garage. So luckily they're not getting into the house. Let's keep it that way. We got the best mouse traps possible. So yeah, just a little, my sinker is kind of just updating my previous sinker because my situation is getting a little bit better. They haven't gotten to the house. So let's keep it that way.
Yeah, mice suck, and that's funny. You have the best mice trap in the game.
Oh yeah, dude. These things were not cheap. They scare the hell out of me, if we're being honest. But I do have another sinker that I just thought of, and that's my dad. And that's because my dad it's not even my dad, it's me. My dad's in Arizona right now, just living his best life, living in his 5th wheel RV, and we get pictures and texts every day. And granted, we talked about the weather getting nicer, but it's not Arizona. So
no, it's not at all.
Tired of hearing about it, if we're being honest. We get it, dude. It's nice there.
Yeah, we understand. You're in Arizona. It's going to be nice. You take
it could be a lot worse.
It's not nice, and then maybe you'll be like, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
More
the problem is like there's no bad days out there. And I got to be honest, like I'm being a little dramatic. He hasn't sent as many pictures as he did last year. So, and like you said, the weather's been pretty decent here the last couple weeks. So just keep it that way. I don't like hearing about Arizona while we're thinking that 45 is short weather.
No. When you're in Illinois and he's in Arizona, it's never fun to hear about.
Yeah.
My sinker, though, is The Rock. I've never been a fan of The Rock. Never thought he was a good actor.
Whoa.
And
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
What?
Can I finish my story, please?
I don't know.
And then now the whole WWE community is turning on him because he came in and it's just he's been booed out of every place he's been since here. Then, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. He's put in everything. He's not like this amazing actor. He's just in every movie. That doesn't make you a great actor. That makes you just John Cena. Like John Cena and him, I think it's the WWE that pushes these guys.
I like John
Rock
Cena as an actor.
Way
I like
ahead of
Rock
John
as an
Cena.
actor.
What are we talking
No,
about?
I'm just saying John Cena's in a lot of movies. I'm not saying anything about him, even though I don't think he's a very good actor either.
Do I need to bring up his performance as the great Maui in Moana?
No. You can, but I've never seen the movie.
There's problem numero uno for one. And then when he was in the WWE, you cannot.
Oh, so that's the animated movie? Is that the animated movie? Oh, great acting.
His singing was top notch, dude. Boomy, can you back me up on his pipes?
No, dude, I'm with you. I love The Rock. I love
the music in that movie was dynamite.
Yes, Moana is a top 10 Disney movie.
But other than that, he is in some hot shit with the WWE because you know how WWE fans are. They're into storylines, and he's ruining the storyline, and it actually is like the one time where there is like certain people turning on The Rock. You never see that. It's
never thought we'd see
that guy.
And I'm not a big WWE fan, but isn't he like trying to jump the line basically?
Yeah, it's pretty much Cody Rhodes is supposed to be getting the title from Roman Reigns, who's had the Roman Reigns, shout out Boomy.
Shout out.
He's had the title for like the longest time ever. I don't know. I'm not really that into WWE.
Is that why his
TikTok
name is Reigns?
Explained it to me.
Is that why his name is Reigns? Is that like the thing about
he's reigning champion. But then they're saying that Cody Rhodes is supposed to be in the spot for it, and The Rock comes in, and now like people are real mad.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I do have to say The Rock was a formidable part of my youth. So, I mean, it's just like, so I have a hard time believing
the WWE Rock was awesome.
Yes, I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it's past his time, obviously, but I do think that guy still probably has some juice to bring back.
But the only thing is, he said WWE fans, if you really get into it, it's crazy. It's insane.
Cody Rhodes is like the up and coming stud, right? Like he's
they're just
he's got the really bad neck tat, right?
What?
He's got a really big bad neck tat.
Yeah, and his dad was Dusty Rhodes.
Okay. Oh yeah. The drink Dusty. Nice.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Makes sense.
He's been around for a while.
Wasn't Goldust? I think Goldust was a Rhodes too.
Yeah, I think that was his brother.
Okay.
I mean, not brother.
That would make sense.
I think brother. And
maybe uncle or something.
There's so many different WWE or like AEW, all that kind of stuff now.
Yeah.
Well,
how's CM Punk
it's
doing?
obviously still making money, and they're still.
CM Punk is actually just back in the WWE.
That's where I saw that.
Heat then too.
No, I think last time I saw a picture of CM Punk, he was like in an elbow brace, like a real life.
No, but Maddie's right.
I gotta try to get Owen into wrestling.
But it's just so hard because there's just not like the amazing characters there were back in the day.
The Attitude Era was absolutely insane.
Like Roman Reigns is probably the biggest superstar right now in the game, just like how they're trying to hype him up. And you wouldn't really know him if you saw him.
There's no Val Venus anymore. There's no
DX and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Attitude Era was like that was transcendent.
Yeah, it's really people have turned to UFC really because they have storylines like the WWE but real life.
Yeah, it is. It's very very dramatized outside of the cage. I love it.
And also, if The Rock is mad at me saying that, it's all right. He's made majillions of dollars off of these.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't hate on it.
Money.
Is it me?
It is you, Maddie.
My sinker is the Chicago Bears organization And it's not for the typical things, and it's not something we would talk about in the, when we dive into anything about the team later in the show. But it's more that they're coming off a 7-10 season. Yes, they started playing better at the end of the season. They're raising their ticket prices again.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, the stadium's in flux. It's a pain in the ass to get to. It's a low-rate stadium in the NFL. Parking sucks. The views suck. There's not a lot of redeeming qualities to go into the lake in late November, December, when it starts getting cold and shitty. It's not a great place to see a game. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And they're raising its prices again, and the team has not been good. It's just kind of I'm tired of, like, this team's have you by the balls. And though, fortunately for me personally, I'm not a big NFL, like, in attendance. I would much rather watch football at home. I think it's made for TV. I think it's better on TV. And I like seeing what's going on in all the other games myself. So I'm not huge on going to the NFL as much anymore as I've gotten older. Like, I liked it, obviously, when I was younger, like your guys' age and shit. So it was fun then. Tailgating and stuff like that was always a blast. But when you get down to it, it's not a great product to see in live, like, especially unless you've got a great sight line. Going to an NFL game is not like, there's so much going on in the league. There's so many games. They're all important, and they're all going on at the same time. So giving all that up on a Sunday to go, see that kind of view, I'd rather be able to watch them primarily on TV with other games surrounded, and that's just perfect for me personally. However,
did they say how much they're raising tickets, Maddie?
Anywhere from 10. I thought I saw up to 7.5% for, like, the smallest increases, up to 12 or for like 15%. Damn. So it's just kind of, I think the obviously you still have the PSL to deal with when you're buying season tickets. So if you have to obtain a PSL before you can even have the right to pay for those increased tickets too. So obviously those PSLs, they for the value increases on those as well. So I mean, the average person, the average family trying to get to an NFL game for what you're getting out of the product, it's just becoming like kind of a joke at this point. So, and the Bears are leading the charge on
game. But then once the game is over with, then you got to get out of there. Traffic sucks. You're not gonna be able to watch any other game on your phone.
Because I'm still drinking out of this cup, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get into it with the Bulls, but the Bulls are doing the same thing. They're going to be raising probably season tickets and everything like that, and you're not even trying to fix the team on the floor.
No, I agree.
And it's the same thing with the Bears. I mean, all we're talking about with Justin Fields, Caleb Williams. I mean, I don't know. The organization doesn't deserve to be making more money. It's almost like it's just how, I mean, yes, everything has to go up and you can't keep ticket prices the same everywhere. But if there was you would know, hey, in a few more years, you're going to be somewhere else, then maybe it would be all right to raise ticket prices because you got to start getting ready for that. But you're stuck at Soldier Field for who knows how much longer because Arlington Heights is starting to fall through. And it seems like we're going to be stuck here in a spot where, like Maddie said, it sucks to get there. And the game experience is cool, but like NFL, there's so many games on one day. It's
a TV product. Like where the NHL and hockey is better in person, baseball is better in person. The NBA, especially when you're close, or college basketball when you're close, it's great to see live. Fucking football is not that great live. Let's be real, like in person.
Even if you want to go to
the visual product
game,
the atmosphere. If you're paying for the atmosphere, that I can buy that. I'm not going to hate on that. But watching just the pure game of it in person, it's not fucking that good.
Even if you're at a Sunday night game, you're going to spend all day Sunday trying to get to the game.
Right. So you're paying for the experience. And the experience getting to
it's cool. It's fun. And it's loud. Football games are crazy because there's so many people. But that means all those people have to get out of there.
You got to go somewhere. Right.
And I did find the exact. I think I said 7.5 to 12. I think it's 6.2 to 11.3. So,
yeesh.
What I would, I know we're gonna get into it, but with the White Sox fans, it's not going to be as easy to get to the new stadium if this is what they want.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is
well, the new stadiums, at least you can take the train to get there, and that's what they don't have right now.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. It's easy. It's a good, easy way out of there.
Yeah, and it should be sick where they're at though.
It's going to be. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Great location. I'd be very jealous of that.
Let's go ahead and move over to our floaters, and I'll get started, boys. And that is high school basketball. And that is because playoffs are starting here in about 10 days, a little bit less. You remember those days getting ready for regionals. They changed the format a little bit since me and Maddie were back in high school with the
I gotta stop you
subsectional.
there real quick. I'm sorry. I did not know until I went to a game recently that now there's a 5 foul limit in each quarter, and then after that.
Yeah, so there's no double bonus anymore. Everything after 5 fouls.
So in the second quarter, you're back to 0 fouls.
Yep. I like it a lot, actually. I think it sped the game up for some reason just a little bit more. And
there's no 1-on-1s then.
No 1-on-1s, which I am a big fan of.
Yeah, I bet you are. But you know what I mean, though. I mean, it's just that's crazy. I did not realize that they were doing that.
Yep, that got changed this year. It was the first year. So, but no, playoffs start for all 1 through 4A schools on Monday the 19th, and then state tournament here in the next. I think it's like the second weekend of March down in Champaign. It's my favorite time of year. Last year, after my team got eliminated, I think we went to a regional semi, a regional championship, a sectional semi, a sectional championship, and a super sectional, and then the state tournament. So this is one of my favorite times of year. If you've got a local team out hosting, go check out some good basketball, especially in the semifinals and the finals nights. It's just good atmosphere, man. It's just what high school sports is all about. And obviously, basketball is my favorite. So it should be fun. I'm excited.
It's almost March Madness.
Exactly. Because that means that college March Madness is right around the corner as well. So
it's that time of year. My floater is it's kind of a hard way to say it, but like Toby Keith's music being played everywhere. I love it. It sucks that Toby Keith had to pass away, and that's very sad.
I was going to leave that in case you were going to take it as your sinker. I was going to make that my sinker, but I wanted to leave it for you.
But so my floater, I'm trying to make it happy. Is like last night I was bowling, and we pretty much the whole night there was just Toby Keith songs played. And he does have so many good songs, and he has so many like America songs.
Yeah,
he loved America. But yeah, he said sad. 62 years old. I think stomach cancer.
Yeah.
The last time he had, I think his last performance, he looked very skinny. Very sad, but. See, he just had so many good songs that even people like me, it's not like it was my generation, really. Kind of like should have been a cowboy. We played that like it was a song.
You might be one of the top like 0.01% listeners of that song.
Yeah, I mean it's an amazing. A whole group of friends. Love that song. We love that song since it's just a song that comes on in the bar and it makes everyone happy and. The Red Solo Cup, even though that's
I hate that song.
It's not the best song, but I just mean like he always had the Red Solo Cup.
Yeah,
I think that was actually one of his worst songs. I don't even think he was the biggest fan of it. But he just had the song. He always had the Red Solo Cup.
Made him a lot of money.
Yeah, but just always you're hearing his songs a lot more. You're gonna hear him a lot more over the next few months.
Toby Keith guy.
I'm not a country guy, so I don't have much to add here.
Neither am I, but
I mean, R.I.P. to him because I
saw him actually when I was probably around 5 or 6, maybe a little bit older. My parents were country music fans. I'm not a huge country music fan. I'd say nowadays.
No, I mean he's definitely. I've definitely heard of him.
I'm guessing you heard of Toby Keith, but
yeah, I mean it's not like it's sad what happened too. As much as anything.
If you've been to a bar, you've heard Toby Keith,
right? I mean, all my friends are in the country, so it's not like I've never heard any country.
Yeah, not that in the country, but I like his uplifting. This country just makes me. There's so many sad country songs.
I'm not a country music guy at all.
But
Maddie, what's your floater this week?
My floater is actually it's probably it's been lingering exactly a month, just over a month based on the day. But for my son's birthday, we got him a Nintendo Switch, and
nice.
I'm addicted, and it is outstanding.
Yeah.
That system's outstanding. The portability of it, the ability to dock it.
My
Use the
nephew,
little controllers, use the big controllers. Me and him are playing all the old games. He's into all like the old school, like the Nintendo, the SNES, and Game Boy games and shit that are on there. So it's sweet. I get to play all those old games. I've never been farther in Super Mario 3 than we are right now in my life. We keep saving it, so it's perfect. Like him and I, it's like basically right after dinner where he's like, Dad, can we go play Switch? I'm like, obviously.
a lot more safer saving too. You know what's gonna save. Back in the day, you're like save. I hope
to roll the dice. So the Switch is sick. So if you don't have one, get one.
I got a Switch Lite, and I played it the entire summer. I was home with my son. I mean, I played I got the Game Pass or whatever that's got all the old school games. Mm-hmm. I've got MLB The Show on it, and I know it's just the Lite, so I haven't obviously connected it to a TV. But I'm 100% with you, Maddie. I love that thing.
Yeah, it's sick. I like it.
My nephew brought it to my parents for Christmas, and we were playing like a Teenage Ninja Turtle game, and it was awesome.
We got he likes that. There's this Lego racing game. It's made by 2K. It's called Lego Drive 2K Drive or Drive 2K or something like that. And it's like made by that that company. So the game's sweet. You build all your own Lego cars that you want, or you can download cars that people make. So we were playing that game, and then we got Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart 8 is the one that's on there. So
yeah,
it's there's a bunch of fun games. You get to play the old Mario Kart games too. So that's pretty sick, dude. I like this thing a lot.
Hell yeah. Zach, anything else on the Switch? You were a little Switch Lite guy for a little bit.
Yeah, and then I ended up using it as a present for my nephew, so then I kind of got rid of it. But yeah, I would like to have a system. Apparently my PS4 is broken, so I am without a system now. Sad.
It's tough.
I don't play many video games, but then I wanted to sit down and play one the other night. Broken.
Start busting out the wall and get that PS5.
Yeah.
500, 600, 700 bucks later.
You know that new Grand Theft Auto is going to be for only that. And like the new college football game is going to be for only that. And
I think I want to get that Red Dead Redemption.
That's the game I was going to play.
That's a good game.
Yeah, I heard
that's the game I was going to play, and I went to go play it. I had to re-download it. Done.
That's a good game. I enjoyed that one. Let's talk about
wait, HDMI cords. We've gone so far. Hate them.
Yeah, you got a tough break on that port, man.
We need like
let's talk about some things we really don't like.
The white, red.
Yeah, bring back the AV cables.
Yeah, that's what we need. Those
output days. Those things never broke until you stepped on one of them.
What's the HDMI cord,
boys?
Yep, that's what I need.
Yes. Like I said, let's jump into something that's maybe not super enjoyable to talk about. The TCF Sports Minute. We'll start off with the Blackhawks. 14-35-2. Some positive news, though. They have fallen to the worst record in the NHL, so will hold the best odds to get the number 1 overall pick. This team stinks. Bedard's not there. Maddie, you got anything? This team is awful.
We do have something coming up, though. 2025 Winter Classic at Wrigley Field with the St. Louis Blues. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm already trying to convince Maggie that we can pop for that one.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad, too. I really want to go to that.
Yeah, I would like to go to that big time. I think it'd be fun. Not a lot to get excited for, except for it's the same thing we were talking about probably this exact time last year, was hoping to get Bedard. This year we're hoping to get Celebrini.
Celebrini, is that the name we need to remember?
Macklin Celebrini out of Boston University.
Bears, Blackhawks, back-to-back years, both have the 1 pick.
Kid from Canada. He's going to be a stud. He dominated in World Juniors. Bigger kid than Bedard, so he's a little bit more of a two-way player, but he's not like the level prospect Bedard is, but that next rung right below, where he's definitely got like franchise player potential to him. So
where does he rank? Like, was it the Fantilli kid that went 2 overall?
Fantilli,
How does he compare to him?
I would say probably maybe a notch up, but like right there, maybe a little bit higher. I would say in terms of what like all the experts say. I'm not like obviously an amateur scout for hockey, but based on what you read about everything, what people think about Celebrini and how he's also going to project long term, it sounds like they think he's got that kind of frame where he's going to grow into a little bit too, or has the ability to kind of be a little bit more physical. And he's got an edge too. You can see that in the World Juniors when he'd play. He kind of gets a little feisty, so he's a little. And Fantilli's got some of that to him too. So I think, I think they're both. Obviously Fantilli would have been a great alternative if you don't get Bedard, but yeah, I mean, I think if you get a kid like Celebrini, they could be cooking with gas.
Also, Rockford Ice Hogs are retiring Corey Crawford's number Saturday night. So Crawford will be at the Ice Hogs game Saturday night. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
you're going?
No, that's why I texted you.
Oh damn! I wish. Corey Crawford's one of my all-time favorite Blackhawks. So
Ice Hogs games, man, they sell out quick.
Dude, and they're so fun, and they're not that expensive. If people are living in a hour and a half drive, go up to Rockford for a game, man. Those are good times.
Also, I know I said I wanted them to make sure Bedard was good. He looks good now. I'm ready for him to be back playing. I know you don't want to be out there because
it seems like he's getting close-ish. So
he did the competition and stuff.
He's
still
wearing the guard and like he's doing like.
I hope he wears that for
now too.
Ever.
Yeah.
Is he wearing like a full cage, Matty, or what?
No, it's the plastic guard that he had
all the way down.
He's hockey.
Yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
It's not like he's a big dude, so it's like like it's just why there's no reason to push it in practice. Just get healthy and get used to the body contact, and when you need to start going, go.
Yeah, because this team is going nowhere this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of teams that maybe not be going anywhere, the Bulls, they did get a win tonight. They're up to 25-27. They are the 9 seed, 14.5 games out of the 1 seed. But the big news today is no moves made.
No moves. They didn't get better. They didn't get worse. They didn't do anything. They did nothing.
Which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing.
But if you're trying to win, then maybe try to make a trade that's going to make your team better. Or
if that option isn't there, why force it?
I guess.
I think they set the price tag too high on guys like DeRozan and Caruso, and teams weren't willing to pay.
And buy them when they're just going to walk in free agency.
Yeah, I thought the DeRozan one was, if he got traded, I would have been very surprised. The Caruso one did surprise me a little bit, but I just have a feeling that they set the price tag too high. But my dad made a great point, and this is something we hear all the time. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That is they haven't made a move with a player since 2021.
Yeah.
So unless it comes out, I sit here kind of standing, straddling the line. Like if they didn't get a good enough offer, I don't mind them, not moving anything if they didn't get what they wanted in return. But also at the same time, like you said, Zach, these guys are going to walk for nothing, and you're just going to turn around and we're going to tote Zach LaVine out there on his surgically repaired whatever, and DeMar DeRozan at 38 years old or whatever the hell he is, and Vooch, who stinks anyway. We're going to do this all again next year. Then we have a major problem.
It's just the same thing over and over again with this team.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add. They suck. The organization sucks. AK has been a failure. Billy Donovan deserves better, in my opinion. I think he's a good coach, but
here's the problem: this team is going to make
Kobe White's the man, dude.
Kobe White's
the man. Fucking only took 4 years, but Kobe White's the man.
I love Kobe White. I take back every bad thing.
Kobe White is fun to watch.
I was right.
Matt just played the long con.
I was right. I just played the long game, dude.
Now you need to start doing the same thing with Patrick Williams, because Lord knows he needs help, because he's
playing
big.
He's playing better before he got hurt.
If we're gonna take receipts, I was wrong on him. So
he was playing better before he got hurt
pretty quick.
He was playing better before he got hurt.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the whole team has been playing better since Levine's been out, but. I mean, this is what's frustrating. I've been saying this for 6 years now on the show. Basketball purgatory, and that's what the Bulls are going to be, because they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in the 8 or 9 seed, who knows? And then they can sell you on a pile of like, hey, we made the playoffs. We're 1 to 2 pieces away, and it's just going to be this all over again.
Stupid in-tournament or not in tournament, that play-in tournament, they're gonna lose, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, we made the playoffs."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing every year.
If they're not above 500, I'm not even gonna pretend like it was a success. If they got above 500, I'd say they played decent. What were there, like 4 games below 500 right now?
2 right now, yeah.
It's just, I'm getting annoyed.
Nothing is going to change until Jerry Reinsdorf is not the owner.
Trade.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were offered, so
yeah,
you're probably right.
At least they didn't take some stupid offer.
Doesn't matter what they were offered, though. I mean, at some point, just being in the middle is just, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah, we're just beating our head against the wall.
I didn't think it would be 0 trades.
Right. Even if you're trying to win.
Yeah.
Somebody.
And it's not like teams weren't out there moving. It's not like teams weren't wheeling.
My phone was
like a team would have loved to have an
the score app alerts.
Andre Drummond right now.
Oh yeah,
Drummond is playing well enough that some team would like a veteran like that. But like I said, you never know what behind the scenes.
Fun fact: Andre Drummond was on an episode of Blippi.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
He's playing.
That's hilarious.
He's playing pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Andre Drummond. I'm becoming more of a fan. He plays with heart, man. I like.
Yeah, I want Drummond. Give me the Drummonds and Kobe Whites. If we're just let's just have a bunch of junk.
Yeah, it's back to when we had like Joakim Noah. Just people.
And I know he hasn't been great since his rookie, but like, can we get Io out there more? Let this kid figure out if he can play.
That's the only thing. Yeah, I feel like they're not letting him play. When I see him play, he was out there and he made a few 3-pointers and stuff like that.
Patrick Williams has got a hell of a lot more chances. I know they don't play the same position, but like,
wait, what do we got to lose here?
Let the kid play. Let him go.
Play the breaking news music. Lamar Jackson named MVP.
Really? I guess yeah.
Is that coming? I thought
he was the favorite, so that's not surprising.
Yeah.
He had a great year, dude. You can't. They're not going to ding him for the AFC title.
Brock Purdy's into that 4 interception game.
Yeah.
Imagine he won an MVP.
I think you could make a claim for McCaffrey or, even Debo on the same team.
Dude, there was like high odds.
McCaffrey win Offensive Player of the Year.
I don't know. Probably should. Dude was
there was like high odds on Dak Prescott to win MVP.
Oh, he was NFC Player of the Year. Okay, that makes sense.
In other news, Cubs and White Sox, nothing worth talking about here lately as far as moves go. But pitchers and catchers report February 14th for both teams. Full squads show up 5 days later on the 19th. Still a lot of free agents out there, boys.
A lot, and one of them named Cody Bellinger. You know what? Baseball is trying to fix itself by putting like the clock on there so it makes the game go a little quicker, but we can't fix free agency.
Yeah.
Most of these top players are going to be signed during spring training, which I think is stupid.
Yeah, I feel like we just keep having the same conversation every year, and nothing's going to – I think there
should be a rule where at least like before spring training starts, before every player has to be there, spring training free agency is over with. But then you can't really do that.
Yeah. There's just got to be some sort of happy medium. Something. Because this is, like I said, it's February 14th, so that's 5 days from when this episode comes out, and there's still a lot of good free agents sitting out there.
What's the common denominator?
Boris.
He's gonna ride it out to the last possible day to get the most amount of money he can.
We got 4 guys out there right now.
Yeah, once one of them falls, they're all gonna fall. So just hope the Cubs get 2 of them. Let's get Snell and Bellinger.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying you're not right, but they always stick to that with Ohtani. Ohtani signs, and then the market will start going. And it seems in baseball, like baseball doesn't just says things.
Yeah,
Scott Boras runs that sport. He runs the sport.
Scott Boras is pretty old.
Yeah. He definitely runs baseball. Moving into some Bears stuff. I don't know if you guys saw Cliff Kingsbury hired by the Commanders. Looks like possibly a little run at Caleb Williams.
He was going to go to the Raiders, right? Or
I have no idea.
He was going to go to somebody and then dipped on him.
So do you think that there's a real – it's like now obviously the rumors that have come out in the last week that Caleb Williams doesn't want to play for Chicago and all this. Do you guys buy any of that stuff?
You know what I don't like is who were they talking to from the wide receiver from the Seahawks? And
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
They asked him about the OC that's going to the Bears and didn't seem to have much to say about him.
No, it didn't look good, but whatever. Quiet. He's a rookie, and DK
I know, but I'm just
Tyler
saying.
Lockett aren't saying shit. And Geno Smith played out of his mind. So, well, I shouldn't say that was not good, but way better than he ever has. So, I wouldn't sweat it. And I also wouldn't sweat. I think Caleb Williams rumors are dumb because it doesn't matter. Because if they want him, they're going to take him. They have all the leverage in the world.
You always do forget though. Eli Manning should have been a Charger.
Yeah, but Eli Manning only had the clout because of who his family was.
No, but you know what I mean, though. It's crazy that he picked where he got to go.
Yeah, so
he should have been a Charger instead of in New York. His career has been so much different.
I just don't think Caleb Williams has that kind of clout right now. So I'm not too worried about that. The real question, though, is, I mean, what are you going to end up? What are you going to end up doing here? So it's, that's the question.
Well, they got about 2 months to figure it out, right? End of April.
No, in my opinion, they have about 3 weeks because you need to do it by the beginning of March before the league calendar kicks off.
That's right. Because
free agency, the longer you wait, the less spots there are if you are trading Fields to who needs a quarterback too. So
that is true.
Because once Cousins goes somewhere, then someone else is going to fall, and so on and so on and so on.
Matt, is there any chance that the Bears draft Caleb Williams and then start Justin Fields next year?
No.
I'm starting to think that there's a chance.
The's no
only the Bears.
Dude.
You know what I mean? No, I mean they just seeming like they're gonna be like, well, we don't know who to pick.
Absolutely not. No.
I'm not saying we don't want it to happen, but I'm just saying.
So what capital do you have to show for that then?
Nothing. That's a very.
You got to trade one of them. You got to trade the one, or you got to trade Fields. Those are your options.
Yeah, I'm just saying what the Bears could do.
I do think the Redskins, the Commanders, trading up. I guess getting the two, bringing in like you said, Kingsbury to be the OC. I think all that does is increase the value of that number one if the Bears.
Yeah, they're gonna want it if you want them so bad.
Because you're gonna have to. You're really gonna have to.
The Bears could play to where they if they do keep Justin Fields or whatever, they can almost have another number one pick next year.
That's the only way you can trade the one.
If the Commanders give you their next year number one pick,
you can't give up that pick unless you have a number one next year coming back, because if Fields doesn't work out, you need to have two next year so you can trade back up where you need to.
It's nice to be a little bit comfortable as Bears fans knowing that he did this trade last year and did it correctly. So you have some faith in him.
Yeah, I'm not. If they do it, I'm on record of the last time I was on the show 2 weeks ago that I said I'm in favor of them taking Caleb Williams. That's where I'm at. I'm fine with it. I'm also fine if they trade the one. I can live with Fields as the quarterback and they trade the one and load up the roster. There's a path there, in my opinion. I'm fine with that. So my preferred route would be Williams. But I think you can. I think there's ways to the. There's ways to the playoffs, ways the NFC title, and from there you got a shot if you get either way. You just got to have the right roster around Fields.
Unfortunately, there's a wrong way to do it, and the Bears could do that.
Yeah, it's if like what you guys proposed with having both quarterbacks.
I didn't propose it. I just think it would be very.
I don't want that to happen.
Boomy, I'm sure would want that.
I would love.
How Bears would that be, though?
That would be very Bears. You're right.
We have two good quarterbacks at the same time, but we don't know what to do with either of them.
You got two quarterbacks. You don't have one.
That would just be a major problem.
That'd be insane.
Well, guys, in some positive news, former Green Bay Packer Julius Pepper named to the Hall of Fame.
Devin Hester.
Mongo.
I was getting. You didn't even catch that. I just said Packers player. No.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. You troll.
Thanks.
You troll.
Andre Johnson, who was. I will always remember Andre Johnson beating the brakes off of Cortland Finnegan in Houston.
That was crazy.
That's one of my favorite videos of all time.
And he was a guy who never really did anything like that in his career, and then
just snapped one day. Dwight Freeney, Patrick Willis, Randy Gardishar. Seniors category, played in the 70s and 80s, and obviously Steve McMichael, also a former Packer. So
he was. Yeah,
I think this is one like I've had arguments about the whole Devin Hester Hall of Fame thing, but like I think eventually he did deserve to be in. He's
the greatest at his position, and there will be no one on that can break his records because they've just ruined the position.
Yeah,
it's my thing is if you bring punters and kickers into the fucking Hall of Fame, you have to bring returners, and especially you have to bring the best one that's ever done. So whatever. I'm not. And
my only argument was that it was such a niche position that like
he's the last one to ever go in. Though.
Who cares?
That kind of sucks.
The what?
He's probably the last one to go in.
Oh yeah, I think so. And obviously McMichael, we've golfed with him, Zach, and obviously with what's going on in his life, hopefully they can get that taken care of. So good class though. I think that's a good Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, but
I don't know much about Randy Gardishar.
It's crazy to think that Mongo he's sticking around to see himself go into the Hall of Fame.
He is the 6th member of the 1985 Bears defense to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He's one of the coolest guys to ever talk to because his stories were insane.
Yeah, he was.
Stories he hung out with Ric Flair and stuff like that. Like, he's a Hall of Fame football player, but he's also like a Hall of Fame at life.
Yeah,
dude had an awesome life. 4 horsemen, dude. I mean, that's crazy.
Absolutely. But before we move on, we got to give a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters Coffee. Make sure you check them out for the best coffee around that you are going to find. Baseball season is starting up. Can't wait to watch our guy Ian Happ out there hitting the ball out of Wrigley Field, and you know that he fuels up every morning with Connect Roasters Coffee.
Well, listen to the podcast,
Don Frederick.
The dollars are back.
Yep, Dinger dollars are back, so we hope to
any home run at Wrigley Field
be racking up on those as Ian Happ hits. Let's say 50 home runs this year, all of them at Wrigley. We'll take that. So make sure you head to connectroasters.com, find them on X at Connect Roasters. And if you are in the Bourbonnais area, make sure you get to their storefront and try some of their delicious coffee. So as always, a big shout out to our friends over at Connect Roasters. But the reason that we are all here, the big thing to talk about this week is obviously the Super Bowl on Sunday, Chiefs, 49ers. As it sits right now, the 49ers are a 2-point favorite. Over-under is at 47.5. I'll be very honest, guys. I have already bet on it. I do have a future on both teams, so I'm going to win money either way. But I have additionally bet on it. I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, and I do like the under.
I want the 49ers to win, but I just, like you said, I don't know if you can bet against Patrick Mahomes, especially when he's plus money.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's why like everybody's saying that exact same thing that you can't. I mean, it's just like you can't do it. So I'm taking the 49ers for that reason. And I'm gonna regret it. I'm sure I don't feel good about it, but I'm taking the 49ers. I planted the flag. It's just what I'm doing. I'll risk it and take the loss. I'm probably just, I don't think anybody's dumb for taking Patrick Mahomes plus money. I'll just say that. So
I have developed 3 guys that I don't bet against in my time gambling. One was Nick Saban at Alabama. It was Bill Belichick, which ended up turning out just to be Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes now. I just refuse to do it, and so I've been on the Chiefs since they won the AFC Championship.
My big bet for the Super Bowl is moneyline 49ers, anytime touchdown McCaffrey, anytime touchdown George Kittle.
I do think McCaffrey's going to have a big game.
And I think they're going to have a throwing touchdown to Kittle to start the game.
I worry about these two teams have very good defenses. 47.5
Jones is so insane.
I don't know if they can get to 48.
Yeah. I do think though that the Super Bowl tends to sometimes get out of hand a little bit where buttholes shrink up a little bit, defense, coverages break down, and some points somehow get scored somewhat quickly. It's like my initial gut was I agreed with you, like on the under. I'm starting to kind of like, if I can, I could see a world where we're at a 27-24 game relatively easily with these two teams.
Yeah.
That puts you over. And that's my only thing is like, I think like my initial was like, yeah, they are both good defense. I completely agree. But like I said, it just feels like sometimes the Super Bowl just gets a little fucking leaky in some spots.
And I don't think that it's understood. Like, it's also like in the same conversation that we're saying here, man, both offenses are really, really freaking good too.
Yeah. I mean, like the running game for Frisco is when you have that kind of dynamic with McCaffrey, but then you can bring Debo out in the backfield, and then you can send him out like just in those little flat fucking routes where he just can get the ball in space, and it's ridiculous what he does. And then you go with Kittle, like you guys were talking about, in the red zone. He's such a threat. He's a good athlete. He's a great blocker too. And then you have the dark horse with Ayuk. They have playmakers everywhere, especially outside. Yeah. And it's, as long as Purdy doesn't make the fucking bad mistakes, they're going to be in the game. They're going to have their shot. And they got playmakers everywhere. And I like that team. I like having the team that's got the guys that can make the big play all over the place. Whereas I don't think the same – the only guy that's making the big plays really for Mahomes is going to be Kelsey. And I like Rashee Rice. I think he's a great receiver. That guy's going to have a really long career in the NFL. Worry about relying on a rookie to carry such a big weight in the Super Bowl still. Like the experience somewhat matters.
Yeah.
I'm out.
It just feels like the Niners' time.
I'm out on over-unders in the Super Bowl because, like you said, it's just so hard to predict if 2 weeks you get that extra week off that you're just not really used to in the NFL. And then you're all that pressure. I think either way, like the over and under, it's just so hard to play.
I think the one of the years we had talked about, I think it was like before, it was when the Rams and was it the Rams get beat
Bengals?
By? No, when they got beat in the Super Bowl.
They got beat by the Patriots.
Yeah, and everybody was like so sure of the over because all the weapons both sides had, and it was like
we watched that game at your house.
Yeah, that was awful. But no, I think that like you said, Zach, I'm with you on the over-under thing. But like my worry about betting on the Chiefs is that kind of to what Maddie said is the ability that the Chiefs have to beat you at all levels, right? They can hit you with the deep ball. They can hit you right up the seams with the tight ends. They have, McCaffrey who can run and catch the ball out of the backfield. Like this is, if the Chiefs want to prove, that defense, and don't get me wrong, I think their defense is good, but like this is going to be their biggest test. And I don't want to take away what they did against, Lamar. And obviously now we're recording this. He just got announced that he's the MVP, but like this 49ers offense is better than that Baltimore offense. So now go prove it. You know what I mean? Like I think
it's really true with the 49ers.
And shit weather isn't going to be an issue either.
They had a chance to lose both games they played. I mean, they weren't like they were winning and dominated. Yeah. Neither of these teams have played, I don't think, their best game.
Zay Flowers doesn't fumble that ball at the goal line. That game's a totally different fucking game.
That is crazy.
Like, that's a totally different game if that happens.
That rule sucks. True.
It sucks, but I mean, that you can't fumble there, dude. You just can't.
What was it? Stavi said it happened bad for the Chiefs one week, and then that goes their way the next week. That's just not fair.
Yeah, and like obviously the Buffalo game, Diggs holds on to that ball. I mean, maybe they don't even get out of that round.
Yeah, I think so. We got two of us, or I'm the only one on the Chiefs. You guys are both on the 49ers.
Yeah, I like the Niners. You can get a -1.5 too at ESPN. So I like that. And I think anything, if you can get them like in that -120 range money line, probably makes sense.
I want a good game. You wait 2 weeks for this.
Yeah, I do.
You just want a good game because you can easily go out there and let's say Chiefs go up 3 touchdowns. Boom.
I agree, but I do think we're going to get one.
Yeah, I hope to. It's the most hyped game of any sports all year.
Well, and I also think it goes to this. Like, I truly think that the two best teams are left in the NFL.
You think it's the most hyped game all year in sports?
Yeah,
I mean, wait 2 weeks to play one football game.
I don't think it's even remotely close.
And
I think the next best thing is the Final Four.
You can plan a party. Everyone always has Super Bowl parties, and you plan a big party, and then it can be just a blowout. And that's what's crazy about this
Final
game.
Four is the closest thing, I think, in terms of impact and weight when eyes watching.
But even that, you play it the next week.
If you get when the World Series opens on a Sunday night, too, game one of the World Series is usually kind of like a ball buster.
It's just one of the things. The whole world is in Vegas right now. If you have something to do with the NFL.
Yeah, and you know what else is getting close to that is college football, the national championship, especially after when they expand to next year, it's going to probably ramp it up even more.
I think that there's a lot to be said. Like I said earlier, there are the two best teams. You can look at the year, the Rams beat the Bengals. I can't make an argument that the Bengals, they got to the Super Bowl, but were they truly the best team in the AFC that year? They had I thought they were not as good as the Chiefs. They had a great game. They took care. But this is a year where it feels like we truly do have, looking back at all the teams that have been eliminated, I think that these are the two final best teams that have really been.
I think Baltimore was throughout the season up until last week was really the only egg they laid all year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, KC looked like shit there for a while in the regular season.
I would still go 1A, 1B with Ravens Chiefs.
Fair, but the Ravens were favored for a reason.
Well, yeah, at home and stuff. And you got to hear the Chiefs. They've gone through the playoffs, and they were everyone was like, "Oh, they have never played an away game." They won 2 games on the road in Buffalo and in Baltimore.
Agreed.
I wonder how it's going to be though in Vegas because. Usually every type of person is going to be there, celebrity, athlete. All these people are going to be at this game. And
what's the game atmosphere?
I think it's just going to be weird. There's no going to be real, I don't think one side or the other fan base is going to be noticeable.
Change the game. Yeah.
Because even Dave Portnoy was saying, it gets expensive after a while if it's whatever to say. If your team makes it to the Super Bowl a bunch of times, after a while, it's dude, you can't just keep going every year.
No, random, normal people like us three, we don't. Even if our teams were in it, we're not going to the Super Bowl. We can't afford that.
After a while, Chief fans are like, "All right, it's the 3rd or 4th time I can't go now."
Oh, woe is them.
Yeah.
I agree. But let's just hope for a good game.
That's all I want.
Something
good game,
close.
Fun to watch. It's 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game.
Wouldn't argue with it one bit. Let's move into some college basketball with our college basketball rundown. National rankings right now as we sit. UConn number 1, Purdue number 2, Maddie's Tar Heels number 3, Kansas 4, and Houston 5. Maddie, any comment on the North Carolina loss the other night?
No. Reality check game. I think it's fine. It is what it is. They beat the shit out of it. They did what they needed to do on in that one. It sounds like there was which I wish I would have known before I played them money line plus money at halftime.
Yep.
But apparently there were some players that were late to shoot around. Kind of slacking a little bit that night. So I don't know. I think it's maybe a good reality check. Hey, don't, keep your eye on the prize kind of game. So
and Clemson's a good team. People are kind of forgetting Clemson's
I don't think they're that good, but especially if you don't guard that Gerard kid. I mean, he's gonna fucking.
And of course, I haven't bet on North Carolina in probably a month and a half, and of course, I hammered a money line the other night. Didn't pan out for me. I was not happy.
I got really, really worried when Harrison Ingram kind of landed awkwardly. It looked like he twisted his knee badly, and apparently.
How long has Baycott been in college basketball?
6th year now. Thank you for the COVID year and everything else too.
Well, I was wondering.
He's the new Perry Ellis.
After the game against Duke, he was like, "I'm gonna go have a good time." I guess you have been here 6 years.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good kid. It seems like too. So,
no, I'm just saying he's like, we're gonna go out have fun. This and I'm like, I guess you are 24 years old.
He had a monster game against Duke. He deserved to go tie one on.
You think he'll be good in the NBA?
No, I think he's going to try to play another year in college somewhere if he can. ride some more NIL and maybe go play overseas. I don't think he doesn't have a pro. He's not. He's not a good enough scorer, and he's not a good enough defender to like play high level minutes in the NBA.
If he played it right, he could easily make enough NIL money for the rest of his life.
That's why he's been staying. He makes like a couple mil a year. He's made a killing in the NIL game.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
I love it, dude. Keep guys at college basketball, man. The college basketball has been awesome this year. No one's talking about it. That sport's been awesome.
Wasn't there at one point something about how they were trying to give Marvin Harrison Jr. Enough money that it would make up for his rookie contract?
Yeah, they were saying like get him in close to the 10 million.
I don't know
range.
if that could actually happen, but now it possibly could. It's not going to.
You get him into that 10 million range, he's probably close to that. What
he's making like 25 mil off of NIL money.
I don't know what the slot is for the third pick, but I mean, I can't imagine it's much more
wasn't
than 10
that
mil.
video of Zay Flowers? And they were doing like a team meeting or whatever. They made him get up and say how much like he made on like an NIL deal. And he's like something like a few million, and everyone was like, "What?"
Yeah.
OBJ standing there like, "Are you like how much money OBJ could have made in college?"
Oh yeah, Johnny Manziel.
That's the guy. I mean, he's still living life. He don't matter. He don't care. He's living the best life. But I mean, that guy could have made just millions.
All right, I got 5 good games for everyone on Saturday. Looking at them here, Gonzaga goes to Kentucky in a weird one. Gonzaga's definitely on the bubble, having a down year. Pick up a win at Kentucky against Calipari in Lexington could be huge. Does it feel
Gonzaga
weird?
Has to win. You know,
Kentucky kind of stinks, but Gonzaga sucks too.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Gonzaga's not going to make the tournament.
Like this. They want to be they're always number 2, number 1 in the March Madness and this and that. Like you got to beat teams like Kentucky. You can't just always beat your conference teams.
Yeah, they need this just to get in. Like obviously if they win their conference tournament, but
recently lost to St. Mary's, right?
Oh yeah, St. Mary's is tough. Maddie, they got a kid at Gonzaga from probably not too far from you. One of the Glenbard West teams. Remember the one that went undefeated a couple years back? Braden Huff comes off the bench for Gonzaga.
Man,
kid's a stud.
No, the name doesn't ring a bell.
He was Mr. Basketball in Illinois on that. They've lost one game. They lost to Bronny's team.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, we went to that game.
Yeah. Next game I've got Baylor and at Kansas. Dude, I'm telling you, and Maddie said it earlier, college basketball is really freaking good this year, and the Big 12 might be the best conference in America.
A lot of good teams.
Big 12's like a street fight every night.
Every night. It's so fun to watch.
At Kansas is just fun to watch.
That is true. That's hard to argue with. Baylor playing really well, though, as well.
Texas Tech's a dangerous team, too, by the way.
Yes.
Awesome jerseys.
Yeah, I agree.
Kerwin
Walton, former heel, too, is really good for them.
Who'd you say?
Kerwin Walton.
Yeah.
Little guard. Hits like 52% of his threes this year.
Which is absurd.
Yeah.
Third game I had, even though it's kind of hard to put them in here, but it's a traditional rival, Indiana at Purdue. Indiana stinks, but you never know with these in-state rivalry games, especially Purdue.
The dumbest games.
Yeah, that's the reason I put this on here. This just seems like one where Indiana's just going to stay around, even though they're bad.
Speaking of people being the college basketball forever, Edie.
Speaking of Edie, do you guys see Edie get outed at that dispensary in Chicago?
Bullshit.
Such a dirty fucking move, dude. Let the kid
What do you do? Be allowed to do if whoever did that should never be allowed to go to that dispensary.
Some dickhead was snapping pictures of him at a dispensary on the north side of Chicago. Then put him on Twitter like was tagging the Big Ten and shit. So fucking stupid.
Yeah,
you do that shit. You're a fucking loser.
If you can legally be in there,
you're a fucking loser if you do that. It's ridiculous.
People are that is just like everyone sees something like that, and the first thing is I gotta get a picture to put it on Twitter
and tagging the Big Ten. Like, what are you doing? Leave them alone.
What are you, a narc?
Dude, they really still. I guess if you're under 21, you're not allowed to have it.
Zach Edey's been playing college since the 80s.
I'm just saying in general.
Like 30.
Yeah. The other one I had in Indiana, I say it stinks. They're 14-9. They're not completely out of things. But the other game I had, Arizona, number 8 Arizona, 17-5. They've got to go to Colorado, who is 15-7. A win here for the Buffaloes would really, really help them because they're kind of sitting
Shout
on the
out
outside
Caleb
looking
Love.
in right now. What'd you say?
I said shout out Caleb Love.
Dude, Arizona is one of my most favorite because obviously they're always on late night. But I really like this Arizona team. I mean, 17-5. This is not an easy task though. Out at Colorado, on the road. I mean, Colorado's a good ball club, and I think Colorado has a kid who's going to go in the top 10 in the NBA draft. And the last one I had picked, kind of another weird one. We've talked about this a few times. It is a Big 12 matchup. Kansas State, who just took down Kansas, goes to BYU, number 21 BYU. You'd like to say they ride that momentum into BYU, but that's a long road trip, and Utah is not the easiest place to play.
After blowing your load against Kansas too.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So those are the 5 that I had listed. Let us know. Alabama plays LSU as well.
UConn.
But LSU is trash.
I love UConn.
UConn hosts Georgetown, and Zach's going to go watch Georgetown play.
Yeah, I'm
going to
watch DePaul and Georgetown here in like 2 weeks. That's going to be
God bless you. You and all 18 people that'll be at that game.
It's for fun.
That is tough.
It's a tradition.
Like you said, it'll be a good time.
I guess the dinner's gonna be way better than the game.
That is true. Let us know what games we missed.
Figure this shit out.
The what?
DePaul. You gotta figure it out. Figure it out.
You gotta go hire like Billy Gillespie or somebody that.
Dude.
Yeah, that's true too.
You're never gonna win the Big East. You're never gonna be the best team in the Big East. Why be in that conference?
Yeah.
I'm guessing contracts or whatever, but would you want to go
make a
somewhere
ton of money off of it?
Be like middle of the pack, maybe at some point be the best for a few years.
Yeah.
You're never going to be in the Big East.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. Let's go ahead and wrap things up here, boys. We got the TCF top 3, and we're all going to – it's not a specific top 3 necessarily, but it's our Super Bowl props. So we're going to bring in our top 3 Super Bowl props for Sunday. I don't think we should do like coin flip or any. That's like pretty standard.
No, we're going to do it. But you didn't not do coin flip, but my number 1 is always you got to start it off with the amount of time the anthem is. That is a fun prop. It gets people going. It's the beginning of the game. People got their phones out. People are ready to go. It gets you kind of ready for the game. You got to bet on the over-under of national anthem.
I don't disagree. Do you lean over this year, Zach?
I lean over. I think you always got to lean over because they're always going to want to give you their best performance.
It's Reba McEntire. She's going to drive.
Oh, she's going to give you like
Reba. What a queen.
That's what you always want. You want to like them to hold notes out. If they hold a few notes out, you're good.
Maddie, you got one or you want me to go?
You can go.
You didn't like my singing there?
No,
I'm
still recovering over here. Got a little blood coming out of my eardrum. I'm going to go either way, no matter which team wins. Give me red Gatorade. Love the Gatorade bet. Give me the red Gatorade. I think it doesn't matter.
I'm always like a guy who wants to go no Gatorade.
That is
like
that is awfully high. What did you see it at?
I think plus 1,400. It is no Gatorade at all. Like not a. I guess if you don't see it on camera and it happened, is it still part of the bet?
It's yes, because there's pictures and stuff.
I guess.
It's like if I bet Bulls money line, but I didn't see it on my TV, does it?
Well, I just mean it's like, yeah, I guess you're right.
No, I see what you're saying because sometimes they miss it.
Like if they wait a while or something.
Yeah, for sure. Maddie, what do you got 2 here?
The first one, I'm using DraftKings as the numbers for what I have, but my first one is will an offensive lineman score a touchdown, and that's plus 4,000. I like that one. Give me the fat guy touchdown. You can't go wrong with those. Man, there's a bunch of them too. That's what stinks. I kind of like some of the crossover ones too.
That's the one I got pulled up.
Oh yeah, like if there's an NBA game going
you know what? That's what I'm going to go with here. Is who will have more, the Boston Celtics team points or KC Chiefs team rush yards.
That's
I'm going
those are
Boston.
fun.
I'm going Boston Celtics points minus 125.
I love that bet. I love that, except for I was going to put
if you're just a casual
yards.
gambler, if you just want to throw a few dollars in there, there's just such fun bets you can bet on. Like not just spread, like anything.
No, yeah, there's good ones this year too. They always kind of get more creative every year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How they can
Somebody's always got
easily
something
can they
wacky.
take your money?
I will go. I'm going to stay in that exact same cross sport special. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. Who will score more points, the San Francisco 49ers or Jimmy Butler? Give me Jimmy Buckets all day. I got the Chiefs. I think they're going to hold the 49ers to less than 25 points, and Jimmy's going to give me 30. So I like that one.
I'm going to go with I don't know how to find the odds on this, and maybe there's no such thing. Taylor Swift to come out during the halftime performance and perform a song. No,
yeah,
nothing?
I think I like that a lot. Actually, I was
she's gonna be there. Why not?
She's just zip line down from the
from like her suite.
There was something about Taylor Swift stuff here on DraftKings, and I can't seem to find it anymore.
Nuts with that. How many times did you show her on camera? The problem is there's so many different like outlets to watch different parts of the Super Bowl. Is like how are you gonna figure it out?
Yeah,
I guess you just go off the main channel. I have one more.
Oh, for the Swifties. Okay, they didn't have anything about her appearing at halftime, but
I know this isn't a fun prop bet, but I just feel like you got to go Brock Purdy interception.
Yeah.
I think Brock Purdy would for sure throw an interception in this game.
Passing props. Let's see what we got here.
It's not a fun one, but I just see it happening.
I cannot find interceptions. Brock Purdy 2 throw 1 interception minus 140.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think they're on the same one as you. I will keep it fun here, kind of like what we were talking about, Zach. I'm going to go to for the Swifties. Where the hell did I lose it? Here we go. So there's an absurd amount of Taylor Swift ones here.
Will this be the most viewed Super Bowl ever, you think?
I would assume.
Yeah, probably. There's one here. Is it over now? Kansas City Chiefs to lead by 14 plus points, plus 250.
What is it?
Kansas City Chiefs to lead by 14 plus points at any time.
Oh. I thought you were doing a Swifty one.
It's under the Swifty category because like they're saying, is it over now? Like you're not really watching the game. Like, oh, they're up 14. I can turn it off. I know Matt's probably not going to pick this, but the Karma one you guys might like plus 3,000. Travis Kelce 0 receptions and the 49ers to win.
That'd be awesome.
Plus,
I mean,
3,000.
He did fool the world because he stunk at the end of the season. He stunk.
I'm gonna throw my last one out, and it's one I just took on DraftKings actually because it was so interesting to me. And I already had one I've already played was Debo to have the first touchdown. So I found that what they had in their exactas. It was Debo to score the first one, George Kittle to score the second, plus 7,000. I threw a couple bucks on that one, so I'll take a $700 winner on that fucker. That'd be nice.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, be sick.
Here's one: Brock Purdy to throw 200 plus first half passing yards, plus 800. I don't hate that if you're on the 49ers there.
Also, you gotta love a good Super Bowl squares.
I think I'm thinking if you're taking the 49ers, it's a McCaffrey day. So
yeah,
yardage.
But maybe it's just a bunch of like 60-yard passes out of the backfield.
Two good teams, two good offenses, maybe overtime.
Yeah.
I don't hate that either.
Let us know what you guys. Off field goal is pretty cool. I think it was like plus 800.
I wouldn't.
Give me all the crazy ones. That's all I win again. I don't want to see the Chiefs win again.
Give me all the wacky ones. That's not too much to ask.
Get George Kittle hit Super Bowl.
I want a lineman to catch a touchdown. I want a doink to happen. I want a block.
Can we get George Kittle? Cole Kmet for George Kittle straight up, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll jump right on that.
He grew up close to the Bears.
He grew up in Iowa.
Yeah,
He's a
close to
Bears
the
fan, though.
Yeah.
Close to the Bears.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he's something. Let us know who you guys are betting on this weekend. We will be back next week to do a recap of the Super Bowl and dive even more into college basketball because
Baseball
college
is around
basketball
the corner too.
The casuals is truly picking up here. So, but thank you for joining us. This is episode 217. We really appreciate you guys being here. You can find us on X at @typical_Chicago, Facebook and Instagram. Give those pages a like. For all the content in video form, go to YouTube, subscribe there. Wherever you get your podcast, subscribe, rate, and review. You can find me on X at BoomyTCF, Zach at ZLilia TCF, and of course, Maddie at schools_01. Be sure to check out our friends over at Connect Roasters as well, connectroasters.com. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us. This is episode 217 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.